The Boston Celtics have yet to sign any outside players to their roster this year in free agency, so I had a little idea in my small brain. What if they ended up re-signing a player that has played for the Boston Celtics, but it's been a while? So on today's video, I'm going to break down a couple of players you guys have previously seen in the green, and if you would like to bring them back. Let's go ahead and jump in here because we're really just looking for some vet minimum guys. You're not looking for a starter. You're really not even looking for a needle pusher. You're just looking for somebody that's willing to sign a 1-year deal, 2 years max, and they're making about $2.2 million. That's about it. Just a role player, add some veteran experience to a relatively young team. And plus, you know these guys have already been with the franchise. They know the ins and outs of TD Garden, and they did give something to the Celtics franchise in their time in the NBA, so why not put them on a championship caliber team to help them possibly get that ring? Let's go ahead and break down the first player here. No surprise, Gordon Hayward, as he is still, when we are making this video, he is still on the free agency market. 2017 through 2019 is when, 2020 is when he played for the Boston Celtics. He was a pretty good player too. But since then, he has played for the Charlotte Hornets and then recently was traded to the OKC Thunder at the NBA trade deadline last season. But what he did with the Thunder really had a spotlight on how much he has declined so far in the NBA. As you guys see right now, 51 games played last season. Majority of those were with the Charlotte Hornets. He didn't really play much when he went to a championship-level team in the OKC Thunder. He was averaging about 4 points a game for the OKC Thunder. But overall, in 45 to 55 games played, it seems like a vet minimum guy that if he is healthy, you could put him in there for about 10, 11 minutes and you could get some good stuff out of him while he's there. But I know that Gordon Hayward and the Boston Celtics, they may not have the best relationship anymore. Why did Hayward leave? That's the big question here. Well, overall, 2017 to 2020, you got to think that's kind of when Tatum and Brown are really starting to get this thing off the ground, and he wanted more responsibility on the team, and he saw the development of Brown and Tatum starting to form there on the wing. So Gordon Hayward ended up signing a deal with the Charlotte Hornets. He did get hurt during his time in Boston. That could have had some mental part of it, the reason why he just wanted to leave Boston. But you know what? You didn't work out with OKC Thunder. They haven't re-signed you. As of right now, when I'm making this video, it's day 4 of NBA free agency, and he's still not picked up. So Joe Mazzulla, Brad Stevens, give him a call and just say, hey, dude, if you're looking to end your career somewhere, why don't you come to Boston? That's just me. I have a question here for you guys. Name a former Boston Celtic you would like to see in the green again. There are several players out there. You could do Daniel Tice. You could do Evan Fournier. There are a lot of players. If you guys want to go ahead and see once more in a Boston Celtics jersey, put it in the comments section below because there are still a lot of players that are still in the league. And for example, let's talk about Javonte Green. He played for the Boston Celtics from 2019 to 2021. Honestly, I feel bad for this timeline because, you know, right dead smack in the middle of his tenure with the Celtics, it's COVID. So you got the bubble season. You're really not sure what you're doing there. You're in Orlando for 3 months in a hotel. So that's going to rub you the wrong way for any team that you guys were playing with during that time. He did, however, recently sign a 10-day contract in March with the Chicago Bulls. So he was not on a team. The Bulls called him like, you know what? We suck. We're just looking for a player to help us get through this injury-ridden season we've had. We're going to sign you to a 10-day contract. Then they went on to just keep him for the rest of the season. Look at what Javonte Green did, though, for the pretty bad Chicago Bulls in the 9 games that he played. 12.2 points per game, 7 boards, 60% from the field, and 37% from downtown. He saw his window and he said, F it, I'm going to take it. And he ended up being a pretty good role player here for the Chicago Bulls during his little 9-game stint, 10-day contract. But once again, why was he not in Boston? What happened? Well, he was traded after 25 games with Boston through that 2020-2021 season, which once again is unfortunate. It's kind of that COVID time, and nobody really knew what they were doing. But the good news is that I don't see really any beef between Green and Boston for him to not come back. And what makes it even better, Jason Tatum and Javonte Green are actually best friends. If you ever go on their Instagrams on either of their birthdays, they're always tweeting at them. They're always posting on their Instagram stories pictures of each other saying, my guy, for sure. As you can see, this is when they were playing on the same team. You got Jason Tatum's buzz cut on there. That's how you know he's young. But they're still really good friends. which makes me think if Brad Stevens or Joe Mazzulla show the slightest bit of interest, I feel like Tatum would be like, oh yeah, let me call him. That's what I would do with my best friend. And the report is that Green would welcome a return back to Boston. So if you're looking for a guy that you just want to get maximum 10, 11 minutes per game out of, these are going to be your type of guys. Javonte Greens, Gordon Haywards, or even Jae Crowder. I know, I feel like this man is going to be the next player to have the rainbow jersey where they played for a different single color in all their years in the NBA, like a Chris Paul, like a Shaquille O'Neal. But Jae Crowder, he actually played with the Boston Celtics for 3 seasons, right before the Tatum and Brown era really popped off. But Jae Crowder recently played for the Milwaukee Bucks on a 1-year deal, 6.2 points per game, about 3 boards, 42% from the field, but 35% from a three-point line. Jae Crowder has never been shy. He has never been shy to show his aggression, his scrappiness, his physicality on the court. And you know what kind of guy you're going to get here for Jae Crowder. He's just mentally, in my opinion, a dog. Do his skills still shout out to me? This is the ball handler that can help us win games? Not really. He's not really in his prime anymore. He's been with several different organizations. Most recently, the one that I always think of is the Phoenix Suns. But then he went to go play for Milwaukee for a year. He's just kind of in that last leg of his career, but I think he's aggressive. I think he's a really good, versatile defender. That's what I've always thought when I've watched Jae Crowder. Of course, you're not getting him in his peak anymore, so I'm not 100% sure what you would get out of him coming off the bench, but he played his role for Milwaukee fine. He came off the bench. That was about all he had to do, and this is all he would have to do for the Boston Celtics. It's one of those things where if Brad Stevens just wants to re-sign guys that have played in the Boston Celtics, obviously he's looking more so to the team that just won him a championship. But if you're looking for some vet minimum guys, and after already seeing a report out there saying they may keep that final roster spot open, why not at least just give one of these players a call saying, hey, you played for us before. What would it take for you to come back? I feel like out of these 3 players, I would probably want Javonte Green, which sounds crazy, I know, but I don't think Gordon Hayward's going to settle for a vet minimum. He's making $30 million last year. I don't think he drops that low. Jae Crowder, yeah, that's fine, but he's the farthest away from recently playing from the Boston Celtics, so I would go with Green just because he picked up a 10-day contract and he popped off in those 9 games with the lackluster Chicago Bulls. You're going to get a good two-way player. I love the friendship between him and Tatum. He's going to be a good locker room guy. And that's just if I had to pick out of these 3 players. Let me know who you guys would pick down below. And also, by the way, happy 4th of July. Fun fact, this is my favorite holiday. Why? Beer and hot dogs. What is your favorite 4th of July activity? Mine has to be the fireworks. I absolutely love them. My dog does not. If you guys have a favorite 4th of July activity, go on ahead, drop it in the comment section below. As always, be safe, whatever you guys are doing on the 4th of July. Be sure to have a great time, and most importantly, be safe. And as always, hit that sub button for me on Celtics Today by Chat Sports.